We're now on Dcad lesson 12A, dealing with the site plan. Site plans can be a little challenging sometimes depending on the jurisdiction because the amount of information that's available can vary greatly from one jurisdiction to the next. We're in Jackson County in southern Oregon, and Jackson County has quite a bit of information available for specific lots, and that information can be used to draw the site, most of the site plan. I do recommend going out and actually doing a site visit and checking measurements, because sometimes some of the information that you obtain from local jurisdictions isn't exactly accurate. One source of information is a plat map, and I'm going to zoom this out so you can get an idea of its entire size. And this is obtained from the county, and this is a plat map showing a general area in a jurisdiction, and the lot that we're dealing with specifically is 6,900, and so I'm going to zoom up on that particular location, and this is the lot itself. You can see that it's 110 feet deep and 60 feet wide. So it looks like a bit of a parallelogram, actually. Typically, plat maps, assessor's maps, are oriented so that north is straight up. So you can see that along the east-west axis, it's actually dropping a little bit to the south as we move further to the east. Also, it's not quite north-south. It looks like it's leaning a little bit to the east as we head north. So in order to be able to draw the lot accurately, we need really good information. And one good source for that is if you can obtain a deed card from the county. Deed cards look something like this typically, and they will often show what's called meets and bounds. And the meets and bounds basically describe, in the surveyor language, how to walk the lot, so to speak. You start at one point and follow these bearings and these distances to the next point or property corner, and then the following, and so on and so forth, till you get back at the true point of beginning. So we can use this deed card to draw our lot in Dcad. And what I'm going to do initially is I'm going to just minimize this, and in our Dcad drawing, I'm going to zoom out quite a bit because the lot's going to be substantially larger than the garage is. And I'm going to hit L for layers, and I want to be in layer 23 for property lines because that's a good place to draw the property lines. Click OK. And so I'm going to call up this deed card again and take a look at these bearings and distances. So my first bearing is 89 degrees south, 89 degrees, 51 minutes east, and it's 110 feet long. And then thence, the next one is north, 0 degrees 15 minutes west, and 60 feet long, and so on and so forth. So essentially what I'm going to do is follow a path that's dictated by these meets and bounds. So I'm starting off with 89 south, 89 degrees, 51 minutes east, and then 110 feet. So I'm going to minimize this out of the way, or actually I'll just click on Dcad. So I'm going to hit V for vector, and I can just draw this site plan initially anywhere. I'll relate it to the garage a little bit later on. I'll show you how to do that in another lesson. But initially, we want to just get this site plan drawn. So I'm going to hit V for vector, and I think I'm going to hit the F5 key so I can get a nice crosshairs there, so we can see a little bit better. And I'm going to just hit 0 to set a point. And now point set, and I'm going to hit point polar, and my distance is 110 feet, and my angle is south, so I hit S, 89, I hit D for degrees, and 51 minutes. And that last entry was east. So now I'm just going to hit OK, or the inner line, and you can see that it's drawn a line. So now my next bearing is, I'm going to go ahead and call it up, and it is 60 feet, I believe. I'm going to take another quick look. So now I'm going 60 feet, and I'm going north 0 degrees 15 minutes west. So I'm going to enter 60 in my distance, and angle is let me check one more time, is north 0 degrees. Okay, and so that's N for north, 0, D for degrees, 15 M for minutes, and west. And then I hit enter. And you see that it's gone to the north, which is where it ought to be. So I'm going to hit point polar one more time, and my distance is 110 feet. And my angle is, I can't remember, so I'm going to look it up again. 89 north 89 degrees 51 minutes west. Okay, so now I'm going to go north 89 degrees 51 minutes west, and you can see that it's moved the cursor to the west at 110 feet. So now I'm going to hit point polar one more time, and I know that I'm 60 feet. And let's see, find out what my bearing is. I'm at south 0 degrees 15 minutes east. So south 0 degrees 15 minutes east. So I'm south, S for south, 0 degrees, 15 M for minutes, and W for west. And now I can just hit enter, and that'll draw the line. And so I'm going to zoom up on this corner to see if they actually close. Not quite, because the surveyors aren't necessarily always that accurate. They're supposed to be, but some of these were done a long time ago, and the technology wasn't quite up to par sometimes. So I'm going to hit a V just to see what the distance is. And it looks like I'm a half a foot off. So I'm going to look at my bearings here. And I can see that I made a mistake because I went west instead of east. So that last line I'm going to redo. And to show you how I do, so I want to be south 0 degrees 15 minutes east. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom back out using my scroll button. And I'm going to grab this point, just snap to it using my right mouse button. And now I'm going to hit comma for gravity move. And I want to do my bearings one more time. I'm 60 feet still. So now I'm south 0 degrees. And I'm 15 minutes east. And you can see that it moved it over so it should be really close to being right on top of that. So that's why you got to be really careful, otherwise you can get really messed up. So I'm going to zoom up on that and see how close it looks. It looks like it's really close. I'm going to zip a little more and just check it to see if there's any discrepancies, and it's right on. So surveyors, they did a great job. So this is how you draw property lines using meets and bounds from a deed card. And it's really a pretty straightforward process. Now, these property lines are not oriented at all to our garage. And matter of fact, there's an existing residence on this property, and you can't see that either. So another thing that you can do is you can call up, go to the county website and look to see if they have any interactive maps. You can look at Google Earth and usually enter in the address and zoom up on it and get an idea either from fence lines or other things to get an idea of where the existing residence, this is the residence right here, where it's located with respect to the property lines and all of that. So that's basically how you draw the property lines themselves. And in our next lesson, in 12B, we'll be dealing with the specifics of how to locate our garage and the existing structures that are on the lot on our actual plan. So that concludes Dcad lesson 12A regarding site plans.